Hey, baby Carlos, Felicity, Madeline, Tony, Bear. Hope all is well. Ooh, hey, Bear. Ooh. Look like a little lemon juice. You know, Daddy likes lemon juice, especially with sea salt. Okay, we're gonna go over the readings for today, Sunday, January 28th, fourth Sunday in Ordinary Time. First reading comes to us from Deuteronomy. Moses spoke to all the people, saying, "A prophet like me will the Lord your God raise up from among your own kin. To him you shall listen. This is exactly what you requested of the Lord your God at Horeb on the day of the assembly, when you said, 'Let us not again hear the voice of the Lord our God, nor see this great fire anymore, lest we die.' And the Lord said to me, 'This was well said, and I will raise up for them a prophet like you from among their kin, and he will put my words into his mouth. He shall tell them all that I command him. Whoever will not listen to my words which he speaks in my name, I myself will make him answer for it. But if a prophet presumes to speak in my name an oracle that I have not commanded him to speak, or speaks in the name of other gods, he shall die.'" The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Responsorial Psalm. If today you hear his voice, harden not your hearts. Come, let us sing joyfully to the Lord. Let us acclaim the rock of our salvation. Let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Let us joyfully sing psalms to him. If today you hear his voice, harden not your hearts. Come, let us bow down and worship. Let us kneel before the Lord who made us, for he is our God, and we are the people. He shepherds the flock, he guides. If today you hear his voice, harden not your hearts. Oh, that today you would hear his voice, harden not your hearts as Meribah, as in the day of the Massa in the desert, where your fathers tempted me. They tested me, though they had seen my works. If today you hear his voice, harden not your hearts. Second reading comes to us from 1 Corinthians. Brothers and sisters, I should like you to be free of anxieties. An unmarried man is anxious about the things of the Lord, how he may please the Lord, but a married man is anxious about the things of the world, how he may please his wife, and he is divided. An unmarried woman or a virgin is anxious about the things of the Lord, so that she may be holy in both body and spirit. A married woman, on the other hand, is anxious about the things of the world, how she may please her husband. I am telling you this for your own benefit, not to impose a restraint upon you, but for the sake of propriety and adherence to the Lord without distraction. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Gospel comes to us from Mark. They came to Capernaum, and on the Sabbath Jesus entered the synagogue and taught. The people were astonished at his teaching, for he taught them as having authority, and not as the scribes. In their synagogue was a man with an unclean spirit. He cried out, "What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." Jesus rebuked him and said, "Quiet, come out of him." The unclean spirit convulsed him, and with a loud cry came out of him. All were amazed and asked one another, "What is this? A new teaching with authority. He commands even with unclean spirits," and they obeyed him. His fame spread everywhere throughout the whole region of Galilee. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ. Okay. So last week, third Sunday of Ordinary Time, our theme was, are we ready to follow Jesus? Okay. So today's fourth Sunday, our theme is the acceptance of his divine authority. Right? So in the first reading, Moses speaks of a prophet who will come with a great authority. And In the gospel, Jesus fulfilled Moses' promise. Um, Jesus taught with authority, and what that meant was, so when the scribes would speak in the synagogue, they had to cite their resources. Just how when we have priests, or just how even like me, when I'm talking about the gospel, I'm citing the gospel, I'm citing the resources. So when Jesus spoke, I mean, he was authority. It was all him. Okay, this is the authority of, I mean, he was the Word made flesh among us. Okay, and he even had authority over the spiritual realm. So obviously this person who was in the synagogue was possessed by a demon. So the fact that this person was in the synagogue was seeking to be relieved of their spiritual darkness. Which, so when Jesus says, "Quiet, come out," so when if we were to have a priest do an exorcism, they would say in the name of Christ, right? And so the fact that Jesus did it on his own accord is his full authority. So, are we ready to respond to God's authority? So, Deacon Joe here at St. Clair with CC Catholic Church, gave some examples. So I'm going to go to list those because they're really good. So we have to ask ourselves. So the question is, or our homework is acceptance of his divine authority. So here's some examples. Number 1, love one another. Number 2, forgive one another, not just 7, but 7 times 77 times, right? Love our enemies. Do unto others as you would want done to yourself. And then which is the Mass. This is my body and blood. Take and eat, right? So that's his authority. And we have to, if we're following Jesus, then we must accept his divine authority. Remember that there's no halfway. Our bodies are either glorifying God or they're offending God. Okay, there's no weekend Catholic or weekend warriors, right? We're either all in or we're not. We're all out. Okay, so that's how his divine authority works. Okay, well, short and sweet for today. Hopefully all is well. So we got Ash Wednesday. It's coming up pretty soon. So other than that, love you all very much. Keep on proclaiming this message, and we'll see y'all very soon. Love y'all. Bye bye.